Welcome back, everybody, to Courtroom Insider. As you can tell, back in Idaho, no longer in a hotel room in Colorado. Just checking to make sure we're recording. Looks like we are good to go. Good to be home. Good to be back here today. Erica and I arrived early this morning. Well, not too early. Our flight left around 7:30. We got in around 10, and I took the day off from work, but decided that we needed to do a Courtroom Insider because tonight's guests have so many wonderful, important things to say. And I'll admit that a week ago, I didn't know much about one of these topics, and now I've been studying it, and it's quite disturbing and quite like alarm bells should be going off. And hopefully the more exposure we can give to the issue, problems can be solved, that there can be, some gaps closed in here. We'll get to that in just a minute. By the way, I'm Nate Eaton. Thanks for being here on Courtroom Insider. Erica and I had a wonderful time at CrimeCon. We met so many of you. I don't know if you can tell, my voice is a little raspy because I've been talking so much over the past 4 days, well, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, meeting many of you. I don't know where you all come from. I mean, you're just from everywhere. And I have to tell you that just a little personal note here, that 10 years ago when we launched East Idaho News, I was working in television in Virginia. And one of my main hesitations was to come to Idaho was that there wouldn't be enough news to cover. I know I say that now, but I really told my wife that the night before we had sold the house. It was packed up. Everything was on a moving truck. We had 2 kids under 2. One was 3 months old. We had to drive up to DC to catch a plane to fly to Idaho Falls. And we had this farewell party with our friends, and we said goodbye. And we were teary because we were leaving a place we loved so much to come to a place that where we didn't really know anybody. We knew a couple people, but not many. We didn't know anybody in Idaho Falls. And I remember in the hotel room that night, I said to Erica, I said, what if this doesn't work? What if this East Idaho News thing doesn't work? What if no one visits our website? What if we can't sell advertisements? How will we make a living? What if this and what if that? And there's not going to be any news to cover. I'm going to be covering cows crossing the street. And she said, it's going to work. And no matter what, I'll love you. And those kids will love you. They were asleep. And let's go do it. And we did. The next day, we woke up super early. We went to the airport. We got on a plane. Everett had a massive diaper blowout that when we flew from DC, I think, to Denver. And we had to buy him a $20 onesie because we didn't bring a backup pair of clothes. And he had pooed through his clothes. And then we got our flight. We missed our flight because of a delay. And so we ended up having to fly to Jackson and renting a car and driving from Jackson into Idaho Falls while our bags were going to be in Idaho Falls. Anyway, it was not a good way to start it. And I said, I hope this isn't a sign of things to come with this job career. Long story short, here we are a decade later. I don't feel a decade older. And because of you, it's succeeded. And so I just have to thank you all. And it's been a full circle moment for me at CrimeCon this weekend, just seeing so many of you from all over the place. A woman from Japan flew to CrimeCon. Japan. I met Australians. I met people from, I should have kept track of how many states, because we could have probably filled a map from America. And if you didn't make it to CrimeCon, I know that you're watching and I know you're supporting and I appreciate it, but to actually see people in person, it was great. And we're already saying, man, how many months till the next one? If you missed the announcement, it's in Las Vegas and it's May 20. Let me check. It's in May this next time, May 29th, 30th, and 31st. So last weekend of May. And I believe I'm going to get a promo code from them. Tickets go on sale next week. I think if you were at CrimeCon, you could buy them. But if you weren't, the tickets go on sale September 15th. So that is next, what day of the week is that? Next Friday? No, next Monday, a week from today. So next Monday, I should hopefully have a promo code for you and you can get, I shouldn't say too much. I'm imagining it'll be 10% off a standard badge. And you can use my promo code, and then maybe we'll meet up with all of you in Las Vegas next year. So we're back home, met so many wonderful people. I think at the end of the day, Erica and I did 24 interviews and had a good time, had a great time speaking with Marsha Clark, And then we spoke with Colby Ryan and Ray Hermosillo. And yeah, it was a great crime con, and it's good to be home. We have an incredible week of programming here on Courtroom Insider that I'm going to tell you about tonight. We're going to go tonight, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday. So I hope you'll watch every night of the week this week, because we have a lot to talk about. But let me tell you what we have tonight. First of all, we have two dudes who you know and love because you tell me about this. Scott Rouse and Greg Hartley from the Behavior Panel. They called them the Behavior Pair. We're going to have an interview with them. They were at CrimeCon, and they have a very successful YouTube channel. Then you're going to hear from the guy who created CSI. His name is Anthony Zeiker. He's here to talk about how the TV show, not like the actual practice of CSI, but the TV show. We're going to have him here. Mike King from Profiling Evil. This guy I could talk to for hours. In fact, we're going to have him back on to go in depth about all of the stuff he's covered. It's just wild. He'll be here. And then a guy who I didn't even know a week ago. I didn't even know his name. He goes by Schlep online. He doesn't give out his real name for privacy reasons. And he has an incredible story. And I will tell you about him in just a minute. But I'll quit talking now, and let's get to our first interview with Scott and Greg from the Behavior Panel. Here's what they told me at CrimeCon. We are backstage at CrimeCon. You might recognize these guys. They're calling you guys half of the Behavior Panel. Yeah. The Behavior Pair. The good half. The better looking, younger, all that. Yeah. Scott and Greg are here. So tell me what you guys are doing at CrimeCon this year, Scott.
Oh, we're mostly meeting people.
Yeah.
Meeting a lot of people, which is fun. It's always a blast. And then we have a thing at 5:30. I think we have what's the thing we're doing before that?
We just got to sign a bunch of stuff, meet some people. Then we have the 5:30 and then a meet and greet. And the meet and greet will be going and literally just saying hi to everybody. But we got a 1 hour session about a really good case.
Yeah. Can you give us a preview?
Yeah. So the guy killed his mistress, and he is caught on body cam in the act, not in the act of the actual crime, but in the act of telling them what happened and lying through his teeth. And it's a beautiful one.
And you guys are going to analyze his behavior?
Yeah, which is one of our favorite things is the body cam. Because a lot of times we focus hard, of course, on the person, the suspect, but the police officers also tell us a lot as well. We're just standing around watching this guy say what happened. So that's my favorite part of it, actually.
I want to ask each of you, what is it about these cases that gets 7,000 people to pay money and come to an event like this? Why are we fascinated with crime?
Well, I think if you look around, the demographic is mostly women, and I think a lot of times they don't want to be taken advantage of, and this is an opportunity to think about it. I jokingly say women like true crime because they either want to know how to identify somebody who's dangerous or how to get rid of the body.
What about you?
I agree with you. They want to learn something because women get taken advantage of a lot. And they're looking for little things that will help them when they're meeting someone. My thing is always focused on psychopathy, on psychopaths, So they want to learn what to look for when they start relationships with someone or meet someone. Is there someone in my family who might be a psychopath or a high-end clinical narcissist? Those are things they want to know, and we can point those things out. So they'll go, I'm not wrong. That is what's going on. So it doesn't it doesn't progress to something that's a problem for them.
Are there any cases you guys are keeping an eye on?
Well, we always want to see the Koberger thing and anything we can learn. We just met a relative of Lori Daybell who said you guys are spot on with your analysis of her. So beautiful to hear from an insider when we're doing it from arm's length.
Oh, yeah. What about you? Any other cases?
Who do we talk to? We talked to somebody from what was the case? We met the interrogator from that.
Richard Allen.
Delphi.
Delphi.
Yeah, so that was really interesting because he's like, you guys, you hit it right on the money. It was the guy that was actually talking to him. Yeah. So that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, really like that.
Very good. Anything you want to add?
No, watch us, the Behavior Panel.
Yeah, Behavior Panel?
And watch Nate.
Well, yeah.
Always watch Nate.
Well, thank you. And you've got your own channel too, Scott.
Yeah, it's called Behavior X, and it's I mostly do, and I took one of your videos that you did with Lori Daybell. How was that? How was she? Because we haven't talked about that
She was interesting, and no one knows this, I haven't reported this, I just toured the prison she's at now yesterday.
Yeah.
And apparently she saw me. She sent me an email about an hour ago, and she said, you didn't look up through the door. I was looking at you, and you didn't see me. So we email back and forth, but anyway, she has an interesting personality. I watched your guys' analysis on that too, and she's a fascinating person to try to figure out.
Is that clock still broken in that room where you did the interview?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, I walked in, and that's one of the first things we noticed because I only had 20 minutes with her.
Yeah.
So I want to look at the clock. I'm like, your clock is broken, so that means I get unlimited time. But they didn't agree with that. Yeah. Anybody, if you could interview any criminal right now, who would it be? Koberger?
Jeffrey McDonald for me.
Okay.
The Vision Quest killer, 1960s. Somebody broke in his house, killed his family, wrote in blood on the walls right around the time of Manson. He's always said he didn't do it. He's in prison for life.
Okay, interesting.
I'd want Koberger because I understand. I think we're dealing with autism there and psychopathy, and those two together. Because a lot of times psychopathy is they'll say, oh, it's just someone on the spectrum. In this case, I'm not laughing. It's not funny, but you have both of those wrapped into one, and it is fascinating. I think it's why everybody likes it because they go, I recognize that. Why was that familiar to me? And you say, well, this is autism, and then you see psychopathy, and because they'll know someone that has one of the two, as horrible as that sounds. Right. And so they feel familiar with it. The look, his mannerisms, all those things that seem odd, they're firing off things in your brain going, I know what that is. I've seen this before. And I think that's why it's one of the reasons the horrible crime is why it's so popular. But one of the things people are really interested in him from the body language perspective is the familiarity. And I think that's why they're connected with it. Yeah. So that'd be my favorite one to do. What about you?
Fascinating.
Yeah, for you.
Koberger or Chad Daybell.
Oh,
we've talked to Lori. I want to talk to Chad.
You could do it.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
We'd love to
He's
see
kind of
videos.
quiet. Okay, if I interview him, you guys then will analyze
the
it.
thing is, and I've said this before, but when you did your interview with her, man, have you seen that yet? The way you kept her right here without her getting mad, without her taking over, dude. And keeping it within that time limit of your interview, God, that was...
With that personality type, and for you to be able to keep her just always on and not taking over is powerful.
I don't, and no offense, and you know a lot, but I don't think you know how hard that was because it looks so, people who do things well, it looks easy. Dude, that was tough. And you may not realize that it may be so natural for you, but my gosh, it was so, you had it right there.
So
it wasn't natural.
How did it feel to you? Because that's the key, is knowing how to go far enough without going too far.
I just knew that she was going to do what she did and try to go all over the place. So it's like, get her back, get her back, get her back. And I didn't want her to walk out upset. So as you said, it's kind of a balancing act. And that is why I started with happy birthday. I don't know if you remember. It was her birthday. And I think she was surprised that I knew it was her birthday. And it may have kind of caught her off guard a little. Like, this is going to be friendly-ish, but not, too
She's still
friendly.
keeping in touch, so she must like it.
I guess so.
The reason being, she wants to be on camera.
She
wants you to come
attention.
back. So there's your invitation, dude.
We'll see. Idaho doesn't allow cameras in the prisons. Arizona did. Oh. But we can Zoom. We can Skype.
Well, I would say go to Florida if you're going to commit a crime. We need the footage.
Right, I know. All of them. All right. The Behavior Panel. Check them out. They've done some good work here. And enjoy CrimeCon, guys.
Thanks, man.
Good seeing you.
It,
I love those guys. We saw them everywhere. In fact, there was one time we saw them at CrimeCon standing by elevators, greeting fans and supporters. And then Erica and I walked down. We did a bunch of stuff. And about an hour later, we walked back and they were still there chatting with people. So great to see them, and hopefully we'll have them again on here on Courtroom Insider. Okay, let's jump over to Anthony Zeiker. He's the creator of CSI, the TV show, which is just such a massive, massive success. They've done CSI Miami, Hawaii, Vegas, I think they did one year. They've done them in all the different cities, and he came up with the idea and sold it, and now he is doing all sorts of other projects. It's always interesting to meet the creative brains behind these shows that you and I know and that we like. And here's my interview with Anthony. We are backstage here at CrimeCon with Anthony Zeiker. He is the creator of the CSI franchise that everybody knows and loves. And he has the coolest watch here at CrimeCon as well. Look at that.
TikTok, $28.
Nice. Wow. Okay, so this show's been on the air for quite a while. How did you come up with the idea?
Well, I first was watching this show called New Detectives on Discovery Channel, and in that particular episode it was called Lethal Obsession. It was a story about Linda Sobek, the Raider cheerleader who was killed by a photographer, and inside that particular episode they talked about this long blonde hair follicle that was in the headrest where the steel bar was. It moves up and down, and there was a tag cell or a follicle attached, which means that it was yanked out in a struggle. She was also found with her zipper on a one piece all the way to her Adam's apple, which signified a redress, rape and redress. And then she was there for a photo shoot, but she had no makeup on at the coroner's office. So that was all like forensic evidence in the voiceover. I'm like, wow, that's super interesting. And that was the wrinkle that gave life to CSI.
So were you already in the entertainment industry?
Yeah, I was writing movies and that kind of thing. Not TV shows,
Right.
But I just moved my movie skills to TV. Pitched Jerry Bruckheimer the idea, liked it, went to CBS, they bought it, and it was Friday at 9 o'clock for about 3 weeks. Went to Thursday at 9 for 12 years, and we have 6 children now, 6 CSIs.
6 spin-offs.
Yeah.
That's incredible, and people still talk about it. In fact, you meet people here, and they'll all say, it's the CSI effect, or it's like CSI on TV, or it's not like CSI. They have to speed it up on television.
Sure.
I mean, did you ever think you'd be behind such a massive thing?
No, they kept telling me, look, if we can get a back 9 order on 13, it would be amazing. So they ordered 13 episodes, and the back 9 was 11, so 24 episodes. But they were like, this never happens. We'll probably get canceled in 6 episodes. Everybody was pretty down on the fact that it was just impossible to continue. But I felt like, for me, who never did television before, I was like, okay, well, this is kind of fun. You write great scripts and make cool stuff, and next thing you know, they're like, pick a city, Miami, and pick a city, New York, and then pick a city, Cyber, and then pick a DC, pick a city, Vegas again, and real cities up Miami. So it just kept going and going and going and going. It was just a phenomenon.
Do you think you'd ever do a small town?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I'm not sure we'd ever do another one. They may call us to do another one, and
Right.
maybe a licensing thing like what Dick Wolf does over there. But I feel like it's such a hard show to hand off to producers and writers. It's really a very specific skill to do it right.
Because you have to have experts on set, right? Or analyzing at least the script,
Yeah,
making sure you're accurate.
Yeah, we have a Rolodex of experts in every permutation, especially forensic science.
Yeah.
So it's a heavily researched show. And a lot of the writers that don't want to opt in and commit to the show tend to write a more cop show versus forensic show. But it's a forensic procedural.
So what other projects are you working on now?
How long do you have?
Give us we have all day.
Well, I'm currently juggling 41 projects right
41?
now. And three scripted shows.
Wow.
The one that I could talk about is The Quiet Tenant over at Blumhouse, with Charlize Theron's company, Secret Menu.
Yeah.
So I'm show running that and running all 10 episodes of that particular show. And Vixen, which is a show I wrote for Fremantle. We're taking that out next month. So 2 scripted shows, but most of the slate is crime unscripted.
Yeah.
So today's master class is going to be how to sell.
Yeah, tell me
television
about
shows
that. And from what I hear, you might pick one up today, or at least take the idea. And
No. So in Vegas, in 6 months at CrimeCon, I'm going to be hosting a contest where you submit your ideas.
Okay.
And then I'll choose 6 finalists. Those finalists will pitch me in front of a live audience. And then there most likely will be some secret judges that I can't tell you about. And there'll be a development deal that night.
Wow.
Which is super cool.
So people watching now can get ready for that.
For sure.
Pitch you ideas.
I'd be thinking about a really good title, a really good tagline, and a really good philosophy for an unscripted show.
Right.
It feels unique. And
Unscripted means real. It's got to be a real story, right?
Yeah, unscripted means it's not written narrative.
It's not fictional, yeah. That's exciting.
Pretty cool. Yeah, it's going to be neat.
What is it about true crime that you think fascinates so many people?
Oh, that's a good one. I mean, look, it's watching the sort of macabre from a safe distance in a weird way. I think the twisty, turny stories go to good storytelling, and the fact that it's real and authentic. I think people really kind of geek out on that. I certainly do.
Yeah.
I go way down the rabbit hole in a lot of cases for many reasons, mostly for work. But I am constantly, heavy in the Idaho murder case, obviously. Yeah. Heavy into Scott Peterson right now. Casey Anthony's still dabbling in all that. There's still some discrepancies in that particular crime I can't figure out. But I go through these exercises on these crimes all the time because they're usually part of what I've already sold to Oxygen and Peacock and that kind of thing.
Right. Good for you.
Thank you.
Good meeting you. We'll let you get into your session. Anthony Zeiker, everybody. Next time you watch CSI, think of this guy. It'll be exciting to see what's next for Mr. Zeiker. I have a feeling he's not slowing down. In fact, after our interview, I pitched him an idea that I'm not going to say here because then somebody might steal it. Actually, it's Erica's idea. And so I pitched it to him. He didn't really like it. He said that women wouldn't be into it. And immediately half the audience would be turned off because it was a little conspiratorial. So I get it. But we'll see. Maybe I'll have the next smash hit on Netflix. Speaking of a smash hit, how's that transition? Mike King. This is a guy, if you follow Profiling Evil, he's got a YouTube channel. He's out of Utah and he has, 30 years of experience, 40 years of criminal law enforcement experience, and is an expert at studying cults and religious crimes and Warren Jeffs and FLDS. And he's written several books, and he's just a really nice dude. Just one of those, everybody at CrimeCon loved him. And I do too. And it was great to finally meet in person. We've Zoomed and we've talked on the phone and texted, but now we got to meet at CrimeCon. And it was an interview. You'll hear I tell him that, we need to have him back for an hour, but here's just our shorter interview from CrimeCon. Big thanks to Mike for chatting with me and for taking time and always being so courteous and kind. It's great to see him. Okay, my next interview, I got to give you some background. Have you heard of Roblox? I think most of us have. My kids several months ago, I have a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 6-year-old, were begging us, can we please get Roblox? Can we please get Roblox? I didn't know what it was. And finally, Erica and I talked, and we're like, okay, you can get Roblox. What Roblox is, it's a platform for millions of games. There's millions of games on there, and you can go on and create your own game. And there's a virtual currency called Robux. And you use these Robux, you can earn them as you play, or you can exchange them for real money. And then there's chat features in many of these games. So as you're playing, you can chat with other people and meet other people. Well, and it's, I think, the most popular gaming platform in the world. Schlep, as he's known online, says he was groomed for years by a developer, someone that hosted and had a game on Roblox. And it was so bad that it ultimately led Schlep to an attempted suicide. He tried to take his life. His mother found out about this. She contacted Roblox, asked them to do something, and they didn't do anything, according to them. And Schlep then kind of took it upon himself to go after the child predators on the platform. And he would make YouTube videos about these predators. And these are predators that I watched some of his videos, and I want to tell you some of their names on these platforms. He sent me a bunch. Baby Breeder 9, Pedo Ray Perp Visit, but there's a few letters missing, and then they have these profiles. Let's see. There's MAP4AAM. There's AAM means Adult Attracted Minor. So MAP for an Adult Attracted Minor. They're an easy target for pedophiles. Then there was one called Young and Fertile. These are profiles he found and he sent to me, Schlep did, saying this is happening now. These are Young and Fertile is a bio, a platform, or a profile on the platform right now. Young and Fertile. Join 9/1 of 2025. So Schlep says, I'm going to go after these guys and expose them and kind of do the Chris Hansen To Catch a Predator type thing and then go and confront them. And he says that since he started doing this, his work has resulted in 6 arrests. And he documents them on his YouTube channel, which is massively successful, over 2 million followers. And he has continually called out Roblox and saying there's an issue. He's not the only one. I met another YouTuber who was there with Schlep, Ruben Sim. He also has a big YouTube channel, and he went after Roblox and was sued by them, actually, and has been banned for life because of a similar issue about the predators who are on this platform. So Schlep's doing this. He's going after these guys, exposing them. And last month, he gets a cease and desist from Roblox saying, you're out of here. Get off the platform. You're banned. Well, he goes public with this. He posts the cease and desist. And instantly, there's an uprising among his followers, and a free Schlep hashtag campaign is born to get him reinstituted on the platform. Now, this isn't just some YouTuber that, has an axe to grind or something. This is he's not the only one that's saying there's a problem. The state of Louisiana in mid-August, less than a month ago, announced they are suing Roblox for, in their words, let me find it. We actually reported on this on East Idaho News. The state is suing Roblox, and I believe normally once one of these states, this happens, other states follow. Louisiana said the wildly popular site has perpetrated an environment where sexual predators, quote, thrive, unite, hunt, and victimize kids. And you think about this. This is a guy who's taking on Goliath, who doesn't care. He's 22. And he is speaking publicly against one of the most powerful platforms in the world. It is amazing. The Roblox grooming survivor turned pedophile hunter, they're calling him. Let me read you a little bit about Rolling Stone. Multiple media outlets have written about him in the past few weeks. How congressmen, state officials, and families are demanding accountability and bringing legal action, saying Roblox has allowed its platform to become a festering hub for horrific child exploitation. Schlep did a session with Chris Hansen at CrimeCon about this very issue. And Chris Hansen said, when I tell you what we've learned in terms of what these predators are getting these kids to do, it is shocking. They call it pedophile hunting. And this has happened online. Schlep, his real name's Michael, he doesn't release his last name, says he was groomed by a contracted Roblox developer he met in a game while in his early teens. This individual, he says, exposed him to violent and pornographic content and engaged him in sexual conversations. According to statements from Schlep and his legal team, he eventually attempted suicide as a result, but afterward, when his mother contacted the company, they say they took no action against Schlep's abusers, only banning this person years later following a complaint from another developer. Roblox has not commented. The experience led Schlep to devote himself to outing would-be groomers and child abusers. With the help of a team of collaborators, he poses as underage decoys in virtual Roblox environments, responds to adult users who contact him, lets them make incriminating statements unprompted, then arranges real-world meetups where an individual in question is detained by law enforcement. He claims he has secured the arrest of 6 people over more than a year of pursuing what he calls catches, with only one arrest not leading to prosecution. 2 more cases are likely headed toward plea agreements, he says, though none of the alleged perpetrators have yet to be convicted. So, he has millions of subscribers, as I said, on YouTube. He has a couple of different channels on there. He tells viewers, do not try this at all. He narrates wearing his ball cap wearing Roblox avatar, and it is unbelievable what these men will do. The men, I'm assuming they're all men, maybe there's a couple women, but normally there's not. And this actually leads in perfectly to what I'm going to show you after this interview with Schlep about a special investigation that we're going to have tomorrow here on East Idaho News Courtroom Insider. They're nationwide. There's been more than several suits, as I mentioned, in Roblox. In a Georgia case, a mother alleged that her 9-year-old son was exposed to pornography and coerced into sending explicit image of himself to adults posing as on the site. Other tech companies like Meta are regularly named as co-defendants again. And then, because a lot of times what they do is they start the conversations on Roblox and then they jump to other platforms like Instagram or WhatsApp or whatever. Anyway, I want to get to this interview. You'll see in the interview we have Schlep. We also have his attorney, Stephen Vanderporten. I like the name Vanderporten. He's a partner with a firm in Chicago who is all they do is handle child sex abuse cases. And then we have, as I mentioned, Ruben Sim. He's not on camera for the interview. He was off camera, but him and Schlep have formed a friendship and we're hanging out at CrimeCon. So here is my interview with Schlep and his attorney, Stephen. Okay, we are backstage here at CrimeCon with Schlep and Stephen. Stephen is Schlep's attorney, and if you are in the news at all about Roblox, you probably know who this guy is. So, Schlep, give me some background about how you got, I guess, introduced to Roblox.
So I was 8 years old, started playing Roblox, and I immediately was obsessed with the game. I thought it was an amazing game, and it was like Legos. You could build all these cool things in it, and I kept playing the game for years, and I became more interested in it. They have a very educational aspect to it with programming and building games and stuff like that. So that very much intrigued me. And when I was, I believe, 10 or 11, I attended multiple STEM events that the Roblox was hosting. And then eventually I got in contact with a Roblox game developer, a very popular one. He had, at the time, one of, if not the biggest game on the platform. It was a very popular experience. Roblox had this guy in advertisements. They were promoting him around everywhere. And he was talking to me, a little kid, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever. And for years, this guy, he used power dynamics and pretty much groomed me. He exposed me to very horrible, depraved stuff, and it eventually resulted in me finding out about a lot of this dude's activity and realizing what he'd done to me. And it resulted in an attempt on my own life. And my mom reached out to Roblox. Why is my son in the hospital? Blah, blah, blah.
How old were you?
I believe I was 15 at this time.
Okay.
Yeah. And Roblox sent her back a copy-paste email of the suicide hotline. It was like, as if that was going to be anything. Roblox, still to this very day, has very similar things, which I'll get to in a second. But, I ended up staying in the community. I created a channel just dedicated to playing normal games. I was a kids YouTuber. I made a very successful career off of that. But I started receiving a lot of DMs from kids and people saying, hey, there's a predator here. There's, I was groomed by this person, and do you know how to help? I don't want to go to my parents. I'm scared. Just really, and this was a very innocent game that I was playing, something you would not expect predators to be in whatsoever. And eventually I created my channel I have now, Schlep, and I started out me just talking about Roblox news, and my thing just blew up. I mean, it was just this predator in the community. There's this game developer who's grooming kids. There's this guy here, he groomed me. And I started covering a lot of the predator stuff that was happening on Roblox. And eventually it got to a point where I was getting so much, I just decided to make an account and start investigating it on my own.
So many tips from people saying the same thing's happening to me.
Yes.
Kids.
Overwhelming. I was genuinely baffled at what I was getting. And, I created an account, and one of the first things that I saw was a child pornography exchanging community on a children's game where people were exchanging child porn for Roblox's currency. And, I started doing these investigative videos on Roblox where I would make an account and try to talk to these people, and they were almost like PSAs, this is on Roblox right now. And eventually I got in touch with some predator catchers, and they taught me how to predator catch, and I learned everything. And that's what I started doing. I started creating decoy accounts and talking to predators, and we would these were predators within the Roblox community who thought they were talking to children, and they specifically said, I want to meet up with you in real life to have sex. And then we would show up in person. They think they're meeting a child.
You'd go.
In some instances, yes, not all of them, but a lot of times I was just behind the scenes, coordinating everything, getting it all together. But yeah, I have been for multiple of these Roblox catches, but these dudes got arrested. We got 6 arrests in, I believe, 10 months on Roblox people. Yeah, and one of them actually today, I just found out, got a guilty plea. So our first conviction of a Roblox predator.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Okay, so there's going to be people watching that say, one, what is Roblox? Yeah. And 2, okay, my kids say they're on Roblox, but they have their own server. Therefore, predators can't get in. Is that true? How does it all work?
So, for one, Roblox, there's a lot of parents who let their kids on Roblox. And, I'm not out here telling people, Roblox is something that, you're a horrible parent if you let your kids on Roblox or something like that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you definitely should be supervising your kids if, they're playing on Roblox. And, you know, obviously look into the safety features the platform has. And there's stuff like disabling chat that I think parents really need to do. And obviously be logged into your child's account, see what games they're playing, see what people they're interacting with, and ask questions. And probably let your kids know, hey, if someone messages you weirdly online, you know, tell me, you know, like, let me know. We're not here to judge, or, you know, this is very important you do that. And, you know, the other thing too about private servers, so how that works is it's like per game. So you actually have to purchase private servers in a lot of these games. That it depends on what games they're playing and if they've bought a private server in that game. But Roblox doesn't have a feature where, you know, you're just limited to only playing private servers, which honestly it should.
So you could have a private server on this game, but then you're going to go into another game and that could have open server.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Well, most games on Roblox are open servers. Okay. You have to specifically create a private server to have a private server, and a lot of them cost money to do that.
Okay. I want to bring in Steve. So Steve, tell me how you got involved with Schlep.
Well, our firm represents currently over 800 survivors of sexual exploitation, extortion, sexual abuse, and in the worst instances, you know, we have sex trafficking cases. And Schlep is one of our clients. We're incredibly proud to represent Schlep. Obviously, he has his own history with the company and he has his own claims, but he is a tremendous advocate for other survivors across the country. He's never asked us, you know, what's in it for him. He's always focused principally on getting accountability for the hundreds, if not thousands, of other survivors out there. So we are seeing more and more clients that are contacting our firm. Schlep was one of them. He has obviously a unique perspective, having delivered with a bow information that Roblox should have accepted and used to modify their procedures as it relates to content and reporting. And instead what they did is they banned him and they sent him a cease and desist. So we're incredibly proud to represent Schlep, but we are representing hundreds of survivors, and we want accountability for every single one of them.
Is this one of those things, if someone's watching and they're like, my kid, this happened to them on Roblox, that your firm wants to hear from them?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that our firm is representing survivors who have used Roblox and who have been exploited and abused on Roblox and on Discord. So, yes, we would like to hear from them. You know, on the other hand, we're not asking for anybody to reach out if they think that that's the appropriate thing for them to do for their family, and they think that they have been injured, or that they have a child, a son or a daughter who was injured, then absolutely they should reach out. Yes. 800.
When you hear that number, are you surprised?
There's a lot more than, you know, just what these firms are representing. I mean, it's, I will say from my own personal experience, seeing what is going on, I very well could estimate it being in the hundreds of thousands. I mean, it's unbelievable. There's a video I showcased at the end of my most recent video where this person asks these kids, has anyone on Roblox asked you for Roblox's currency to go to another platform to do something inappropriate with you? And half of the class raises their hand. I mean, that's how widespread this problem is. And that is unbelievable. I mean, and to think as well, what if, like, you know, some of them are embarrassed? What if some of them don't even understand the question? And I mean, that is just an anecdotal showcase of how widespread this problem is. And it's unfathomable. And I think what is crazy is Roblox has created this problem. They've facilitated it. And rather than going after people who are trying to do something rather than
going after the predators.
They go after me, who's trying to do something about it.
Right, tell us about that. So you go online to expose it on your YouTube channel, which has 2.2 million. How many?
2 million. It just hit 2 million today.
2
yeah.
million subscribers today.
Yeah,
Congrats.
thank you.
Did they send you like a triple platinum play or something?
They did for 1 million. They gave me a little cool plaque.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 million. So you have a large audience.
Correct.
Is every single one of your videos about this?
Most of mine, yeah.
So most of your videos are about
all my
this?
videos since I started doing predator catching stuff. Yeah, pretty much all of them. Yeah.
And instead, what happens with Roblox?
I mean, Roblox has had very little safety changes. If not, they have only gotten worse since I started making these videos. They've only started cracking down on this when the Attorney General of Louisiana filed a lawsuit, a massive lawsuit.
Pretty recent, right?
Yeah, and what they did was just all these games where everyone was complaining about, like even games the CEO was doubling down on, just vanished overnight. They were cleaned up. They were made presentable. But even as of this moment, there's games on the platform that would totally blow your mind. They have games where it are smash or pass games that 5-year-olds can play, and they can play this in lobbies with 45-year-olds. I mean, that's unbelievable. And these aren't like some small little games. This game I'm specifically mentioning has 70 million visits on their platform. Thousands are probably playing it right now. I mean, that shows you how bad this actually is. And Roblox is totally aware of it, and their philosophy is that they don't want to go after the developers, they want to go after specifically the users, but they're not really going after the users. You can report these people, but like a lot of instances where I've reported them, nothing happens. So what's pretty much happening is it's just nothing is happening, and Roblox is just actively facilitating and owning this giant community of predators that are grooming little kids.
Did you ever get nervous or a little worried going after such a massive platform?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely pretty worried because I am just, I'm a 22-year-old. I'm showcasing really horrible safety problems that every person that I was showing them to, their heads were turning. Like the story was so crazy that it's almost unfathomable. Like, I mean, the news and media that I was reaching out to, they weren't reaching back out because it was such a crazy story that it probably wasn't going to get headlines, because it's like, there's no way this kids game has child pornography rings where predators are exchanging Robux for their for all this. And the other thing is too is like with those child porn rings, Roblox is profiting off of it. Not many people actually know about that. They take a 30% fee, a marketplace fee, and I believe overall it's almost like a 70% take that they're making off of these child porn trades happening on Roblox. It's remarkable. It's truly disturbing. Mm-hmm.
So they sent you a cease and desist. Have you ceased and desisted?
I haven't played Roblox since I got
They
it.
just said stay off our platform.
Stay off our platform, pretty much. He could speak a little more on what the cease and desist consisted of.
Yeah, so I mean, the cease and desist was a very transparent attempt to bully somebody who they thought they were, going to be able to bully into silence, and they've been unsuccessful in that respect. But no, Schlep has not done anything to violate either previously or currently Roblox's terms of service. But if you look at what Roblox is doing, they're acting like, every other billionaire, corporation would act. First, they deny that this is a problem, and once that argument falls apart, they start to attack Schlep, and they send him a cease and desist letter. They ban his account, and that, of course, causes an uproar in the community. I mean, there's a real disconnect between this company and their community and their users, and they've, after denying it and after attacking Schlep, they start to blame him, and they start to say that he's the one who's actually acting like a child predator because he's simulating, fake conversations with these potential predators. So it is a shameful response. It's one that we, would hope they reconsider. They have an opportunity to do something quite different and say, look, guys, we realize we have a problem here. We'd like to work with your client on how to solve it. Mm-hmm. We're listening to you. We hear you. We hear the thousands and thousands of users who are hashtagging free Schlep, who are buying and using free Schlep skins on their digital avatars, and anyone advising them, if they had their head on straight, would say, yeah, that's the approach. Right. Nobody's trying to kill this game. Certainly not Schlep. Yeah. He's trying to improve it, and but their reflex to just deny the reality of this problem, which has gone on for decades, really, really amounts to gaslighting the public about denying something that is just so obvious and plain. And so we'd ask that they reconsider their approach, and certainly we're amenable to having a conversation with them along those lines. But right now, that's not something that they appear to be focused on.
What's something they could do today? Let's say they came to you and said, all right, give us 2 or 3 suggestions.
For one, just remove those horrible experiences. I mean, these are games the community has been talking about for close to a decade now. I mean, these are things that any parent would join, anybody would see, oh yeah, this doesn't belong on a game mainly played by children. Like, mainly the core demographic of Roblox is kids. No kid should be accessing games where within 4 seconds you'll see inappropriate avatars. But the CEO will go on an interview and he'll go ahead and say, we're keeping this game up on our platform because it wasn't the developer who did it, it was the users who did it. But the developer is giving the tools to these users to do it. So, it's really just, it's sick. And I think a lot of these executives, I really think they don't have the interests of children. I think they genuinely, if they did, they would want to work with someone like me. And I think really where it highlighted that the most, to add on to what he was saying, is where they blamed me. They compared me to being an actual predator because I was getting predators within their community arrested. And, I find that so deeply offensive, considering I was groomed by a predator on their platform, and they let this guy continue to make money on the platform for years until they finally banned him for the predation that guy was doing. And they're the ones accusing me of that. That's just, it's sick. It's totally disgusting and backwards.
Did you ever find out who the predator was that went after you?
Yeah, I pretty much know everything about him. I like he was saying, I have claims against the company, and that's something that I would be open to exploring one day.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So, guys, I work in the media. I can't believe I only heard about this with that Louisiana AG thing, what you said a few weeks ago. Why do you think this isn't getting more coverage? Or is it?
Look, look, it's the #1 gaming app. It's an app that is wildly addictive and popular. And we are one firm, and Schlep, notwithstanding his notoriety and the fact that he's achieved kind of folk hero status, we need the public's help in raising awareness about this issue. And so if it's something that your viewers think is important, we'd ask that they talk to their legislators and their public officials about this issue. Because we are up against a big fight here. They are the #1 gaming app. They have an incredibly powerful lobby in Congress and elsewhere. And so, but look, this is the beginning of the story. And so we think this story is going to grow through Schlep and through others, and through other firms that are filing suits throughout the country. This isn't going away. And it's just another reason why we think that Roblox should reconsider their response to this issue and recalibrate it to be something where we can work constructively with them, and they can earn back the trust of their users.
Yeah, it's amazing what you've done.
I appreciate it.
It is. It really is. How can people find you?
On Schlep, just look it up on YouTube. My Twitter is @RealSchlep. That's my main social medias.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anything that you want to add?
I just add that if you're a parent and your kid plays Roblox, please watch over them. They need to be monitored while playing it, and their chat settings need to be disabled. Those are 2 must-haves with the platform. And if they're on it, they need to be aware that there are predators within it and that there are people trying to take advantage of people. And if people act weird, they won't be in any trouble, they need to talk about it,
Really impressive work, Schlep. Anything you want to add, Steve?
Yeah, I would just say don't let them bury this story. They are everything they're doing is trying to silence their critics and move this into a situation or a forum in which the public doesn't hear about this. And don't let them get away with that. They're the #1 gaming app. Your children are on it.
Right.
The amount of people at this conference who've told us that their children or grandchildren are on it, that they've spent hundreds of dollars for Christmas gifts, for birthday gifts. Whether they like it or not, they have an obligation to be a better corporate citizen than they're being. So I would say, don't let them bury this story.
Yeah. Well, you guys have just opened my eyes. I can't even tell you. And I want to stay on top of this. And you all watching, you're a powerful audience too. You can get involved, as they said. So thank you for doing what you're doing. Such an admiration. And thank you, Steve.
You.
This is another one of those interviews that I could have talked to these guys for hours because, and maybe we'll have them back on here on Courtroom Insider because I don't want to let this story just go away. It's too important. We're talking with our kids tonight about Roblox. They are in, and as Schlep said, he does not want to just go after Roblox and shut them down. That's not his goal. His goal is to have them increase their safety standards. And if they just, imagine if they just invited him in and said, you know what, we're going to hire you as like our chief child security officer. They could really make something good out of this. And maybe they will. And in full transparency, I have not contacted Roblox for comment on this. And they have issued comments to other national outlets. But full disclosure to you, I have not reached out to them about the allegations that he has on them, but you can go on and see that there are lawsuits, and I believe this is just the beginning. And I say all of this to, hopefully protect children. And if Roblox wants to come on and talk to me, I'll be happy to chat with them and hear their side. But tonight we're talking with our kids. We did talk with our kids after my son Everett was so excited that we met Schlep. So excited. He told us about free Schlep a few weeks ago, and Erica knew more than I did, but, they on their Roblox, the chat is disabled. They don't chat on the games, which is good because that's how these perpetrators get in there. So big thanks to Schlep and Steven for chatting with me, and we'll be in touch with them. And if you have questions for them, maybe we can have them on for a live hour. And as I mentioned, this leads into a special report that we have tomorrow. I've been working on this all summer, and finally it's happening. I'm going to give you a little teaser for you here on Courtroom Insider. It's 6:30 in the morning, and these cops are about to knock on a door.
Radio check again for the mic.
And talk to a guy about some really disturbing stuff. Right now, police are in the apartment. They're speaking with the man. Moments later, he's walked out in handcuffs. I wish I could say this is a one-time thing.
Suspect's leaving, he's leaving the vehicle.
But on other days, they're doing it again and again and again. They're going to go into the home now. They have a warrant. These men and women in uniform are part of the Idaho Internet Crimes Against Children, or ICAC unit. Here on this screen, we're keeping an eye on that red pickup. And all summer long, I've been undercover with them.
Throw this on over you, let's hop in the car. You guys in? We're in. All right, let's go.
As they work to get those involved in this disgusting material off the streets.
Sometimes these unexpected things happen.
Absolutely, so you can never anticipate what's going on.
And that is just the first minute or so of our report. Tomorrow night, Courtroom Insider Live. I will show you the whole thing, and then we will do a live Q&A with the head of the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, Nick Edwards, for the state of Idaho. He will be here live. He will take your questions. Please tune in. It is an important hour at 7 o'clock. If you have older kids, you can watch. You probably don't want to watch live with the younger kids. There is some stuff that was found in our investigation that's disturbing, and I don't know if you want your kids maybe younger than 12 to watch. Then again, you may want them to watch to see. Anyway, tune in if you can, and then you can decide if you're going to show it to them later. Come up with questions that you might have for our Internet Crimes Against Children, and it goes in perfectly with what we've been talking about tonight with Schlep and everything on these little devices that we have and these computers that we use. Tomorrow night, special edition of Courtroom Insider, and then on Wednesday, we're going to the Pocatello Women's Maximum Security Prison. Yes, this is where Lori Vallow Daybell is housed, and we're going there for the first time in As long as I've been here, our cameras are allowed inside the prison, inside the different areas. We're going to show them all to you, and I hope you find it interesting, because I definitely did. That'll be Wednesday night on Courtroom Insider. Thursday to be announced. Still working on booking, finalizing a booking for Thursday night. So stay tuned. We're here all week, just like the old days. We're not covering a trial, though. So hope that's okay with you, doing these different topics. And all along the way, I just have to thank newspapers.com. They are our sponsor for Courtroom Insider. And we have the winners for our t-shirt contest from newspapers.com. And guess what? I left the list upstairs. So tomorrow night, I will announce the winners. I haven't emailed them yet either. I've been a little behind today, but the contest ended. So there's a chance, if you entered, that you might be a winner. You will get an email from us, and I'll announce the winners tomorrow night here on Courtroom Insider, but you'll get an email before then. Newspapers.com has been great. Yeah, I got to tell you, they gave us candy. My wife and I, it was perfect all throughout CrimeCon. We'd walk by, they had bowls of candy. They kept us well fed, and other people there. But more than just giving you candy, they give you fascinating information from years past. And if there's any crimes you want to look up, if there's anything in your family you want to look up. In fact, Ramona told us at CrimeCon that she was going to go visit a gravestone in her family. And it was in Nebraska, I believe. But when she went on newspapers.com, she realized that no, it was not in Nebraska. It was somewhere else in another state, and it saved her a trip. And she was able to go find the correct headstone. So it's little things like that. If you have questions about the past and your family, questions about events that happened in the news, newspapers.com is your place to go and try it. You can try it for 7 days and see what you think of it, and go and enjoy it. So anyway, thanks to newspapers.com, and thank them for giving 5 of you a t-shirt that will be contacted soon. So if you didn't win this time around, we may do it another time, but it's great to have the support of newspapers.com. And it's great to have your support. Thanks so much for watching every night. You can keep up with me. All of the here's where I'm at: Facebook, Insta, X, and YouTube, and all of the photos and fun from CrimeCon, all the interviews I've done throughout CrimeCon, that's on my Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already. You can also subscribe to Meet and the Eatons for some fun family content. And it's good to be home with the family. But definitely a memorable, exciting, such a fun weekend at CrimeCon in Denver. And thank you. Thank you all for watching. Be back tomorrow night. Special edition of Courtroom Insider, internet crimes against children, undercover, in a story that I'll never forget. See you then. Bye.